Coming up on this episode of the Spiro Podcast.
And the whole purpose of it was how you can go from doing it all to delegation and how much delegating you truly can do with virtual assistants.
Welcome to the Spiro Podcast, managing your real estate photography and videography business. With your hosts, Todd Craig and Craig Magro.
Hi, and welcome to the Spiro Podcast, managing your real estate photography and videography business. Spiro is a software platform. We've designed it from the ground up for you to manage your day-to-day real estate media business, and ultimately, we want it to help you grow and scale as well. If you're a returning viewer or listener, welcome back. If you're a first time, we are so glad to have you. The whole idea of this podcast is just to talk about the business of real estate media. There are a huge number of great content creators in our field for real estate media that are putting out some fantastic material on the creative side of what we do as photographers, videographers, visual marketing specialists. And we encourage you to check out those various channels, but we like to dive into building strong businesses. So there's the lowdown for you. Welcome back. With me each and every week, or most every week, one of us is here, Todd Craig. Welcome back, Todd, owner and founder of Spiro, and my partner in crime.
Craig, thank you for that introduction. I was thinking about that on a name tag. Creator, photographer, videographer, visual and marketing specialist. That is quite a title. I think it describes us well. So we might just be over a few too many characters.
Right.
But
or you need magnifying glasses for the small print that has to go on the
there you go.
badge.
It's like have your name written on a grain of rice.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I love it.
All right.
Well, Craig, we have one of my favorite people in the world today, so inspirational, and we're going to dive into that quickly here. But I do want to give you guys just a quick update about Spiro. And we have some incredible updates for you that are launching now. And we've been talking about this. We talked about this at the conferences, or we announced it at the conferences. And we feel very strongly that putting in easy ways that you can focus on actions that actually change your business from a growth perspective is incredibly important. So our first CRM functions will be in the system by the time you listen to this. So you'll want to check out any knowledge-based guides. We're going to have lots of training on this, and we're going to be here to support you, not just to give you the tools, but we're going to allow you to see, when is the last time I called my VIPs? Do I have follow-up set for my VIPs, for new clients, for past clients? How many clients haven't ordered with me? Let me put them right in front of my face in an easy grid so that I can set follow-up. We've done this at WOW for many years. We focus on this. We have a sales team, and we know that the way you consistently grow your business is by focusing on it. So that will be in your system. Please go check it out. It's there for you. Another thing, hey, Merry Christmas. It's free for all of you. So it's not like try it and then you pay for it. Like, it's all in there. It's part of the system. We hope you enjoy it. We hope you love it. We just appreciate all the support from you and the feedback. So that is in there. The other nice little thing, as we're all creatives and we have a visual eye, the login page for your realtors has all been redesigned and updated and refreshed. It looks fabulous. So that is in there. You can add your Google reviews if you want to scroll those on your login page. And also, if your agents want to set a password, they can set a password now. So they can keep the PIN if they want a PIN code. But if they want a password because they like to share their login, there's an account manager, and I think there's a better way to do that. But I'm not going to argue with you all. We're just going to give you the feature to set a password. I realize sometimes it's easier just to share a password, so your agents will have all that. So, and a few more goodies, but I won't take any time here.
Okay, awesome. Also, before we dive into things, Spiro Sync coming up in January. You want to talk about that real quick?
Yes, just mark it down on your calendars, January 22nd and 23rd of 2026. It's coming quick, y'all. We would love for you to come and be our guest there. Come and join us. You can find out, get a ticket. Tickets are $199. Okay, so less than $200. Spiro.media. Click on Spiro Sync Our guest today is going to be a speaker and going to lead a session there as well. We're going to have vendors there, Titus, Auto HDR, Cuba Casa is going to be there. So come and see us. Eli Jones and the fam's going to be there. So please come hang out. We're going to plan for 2026 and it's going to be a great time.
Really looking forward to it. So awesome. All right. Well, Todd, without further ado, we just, of course, like a lot of people, have just gotten back from a couple of conferences in Las Vegas. One of those being the REPP 2025 conference, where there was just a slew of fantastic speakers. One of them being our guest today. You know her, you love her, veteran. Now we've conferred upon her veteran status on the Spiro podcast. Todd, do you want to introduce our guest?
Yes. I mean, I think you all know her. We love her. It's amazing what she's done from a business standpoint, but her inspirational standpoint and just her ability to just go towards building relationships is truly inspirational for me. So everybody, welcome to the podcast, Colleen Kydd. Colleen, welcome.
Hi, so happy to be back. I'm a veteran. I love that term. Yay. Thank you.
Seasoned, hardcore, gone through the trenches with us.
Yes, I love it.
Awesome. Well, Colleen, glad to have you. Your presentation at REPP 2025 was just incredible. And so we wanted to have you on to kind of do a recap of that. And another, I don't know when you sleep, but another new venture, effort, really exciting thing that you kind of spearheaded here and have gotten going that we would love for you to highlight as well. But let's just start things off with your presentation at REPP. What was the focus, and kind of set it up for us?
Yes. So this year at REPP, one question I get asked about all the time in my DMs is VAs. How do I hire them? What do they do? What can they do? What do I do if my VA is doing this or that? And so this year I was like, this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about virtual assistants this year. So what I did was I wanted to highlight like all the different roles that my VAs have on our team. So I feel like it's sometimes easy to onboard the VAs and you have all these tasks and they're flying around. But I kind of went through like the 4 titles that VAs have at my business and the roles that are assigned to those titles. And of course you hybrid, based on where you're at in your business. So I really walked through that. And the whole purpose of it was how you can go from doing it all to delegation and how much delegating you truly can do with virtual assistants. And I was actually surprised at the amount of feedback that I got about, one, how helpful that was. People hadn't kind of thought about it in roles. And 2, I really talked about just the impact you can create as a business owner on your photographers, on your clients, and specifically for this one, on your virtual assistants, through just enriching their lives, allowing opportunities. And a lot of people really came up to me about that one. They're like, I felt like maybe now that I'm a real estate business owner, I can't create impact. And you just gave me a light letting me know that I absolutely can.
Yeah, that's so incredible. I think that's one thing that just is so gravitating about you, Colleen, is just this. You're this master relationship builder, and you don't do it for anything other than just to help other people. And it shows, and it's just so phenomenal. And I think it's important on a team, when you build a team, that like the team feels they are winning. And sometimes as business owners, we have to not win so much. And we have to let the team win. And it's this contradicting thought. Like, let me relate it real quick to my basketball team. Like, I coached 7th grade basketball, and every 7th grader wants to score points. And I'm trying to get into their head right now that when they let their teammates score, we call it like, let your teammates eat. When your whole teammates eat, you will be fed. And I think that's just what's so resonating about what your story is and how you tell it and how you've just built that culture throughout your team. Are there, I know you're just wired like this, Colleen, but maybe are there some things along the way that you've learned as hiring VAs? Maybe let us know how long, because you haven't been doing this a long time. I mean, I've done this a long time. I've screwed a lot of things up. You've just done things correct and you've grown really fast. But can you give us an idea of just like what your experiences are? I know you have some cool stories about what you've done for your VAs, but maybe just a little bit of background for our listeners that might not know you, and then how that related into your company.
Yeah, so I think it's really important to. So all my VAs are from the Philippines. That's where we hire. Not that you can't hire from anywhere else, but we hire from the Philippines. And taking time to really understand like them and their culture and how they operate, so that you can serve them, so that they can serve you and your clients. So, for example, they're a very kind, like loving culture, and they have this thing where it's like they like to save face. They don't want to throw anything or anybody under the bus. So they're not really going to bring conflict directly to you. It's something that you have to create an environment where they're safe, they feel safe enough to really openly express things to you. Because you do need to know, what's working well, what's not working well, especially when you have multiple virtual assistants coming together who now have to work together. So, we have things like they have a weekly team meeting where they're doing fun stuff and they're creating bonds. And then I am meeting with them each individually. I'm meeting with my top VAs weekly. We're doing team meetings so that I can kind of get a pulse on everything. And I just connect with them one-on-one. Like, tell me about your life, about your family. I understand like their destination, their goals, like what actually matters to them. And then I make sure that I bring those up in the one-on-ones. And I just create a place where they know that I care. So that's me showing them appreciation, randomly pinging them, randomly sending them things like that. So that when I do talk to them, they have this level of respect for me, and I can explain why it's so important for them to give me feedback. And I have to ask for it. Like, I have to ask for it and let them know that it's helping me. So then they're like, oh, I'm helping Colleen and she's helped me so much. Let me actually tell her these things that I have ideas on that we could do better. Or, I actually prefer now that we're on auto HDR, can I change my hours, and things like that. Like, that's not something that they're always going to just bring up. So I feel like I've done a really good job at just kind of understanding what their needs are and giving them a really good environment to relay that, so that everybody really does rise together, and explaining why it works like that. And so now they're better about just like opening up to me. So I just think taking time to truly understand each person on your team, VA or not, on an individual level. It's like, I don't play favorites, but I do treat people slightly differently based on how I know they respond and what they actually care about. Not everyone's motivated by money. Not everybody's motivated by, group shout outs. Sometimes they want it one-on-one. Like, you have to understand how people tick. And I think that's been a really key and facet of my business in creating the culture and the environment that we have, is I'm getting to understand each person individually.
Todd, as soon as Colleen said relating to team members differently and figuring out what makes them tick, immediately I thought about you and the disc profile and things like that. Can you kind of tie that in?
Yeah. So I for a long time, y'all, like I thought what was important to me was important to everyone at my company. And I just really found out I'm a really strange individual, because it was not even close to important to anyone else. And now I say this with humor, but like, you all, if you're listening to this, like, you're different. Like, you're different in a good way. You all are overachievers. Like, what makes you tick is not what makes your employees tick. And that's way different halfway across the world to someone in the Philippines, or someone in a different part of the country, a different part of the world, excuse me. So that's when I started learning about, from a coach, the DISC profile, like what personalities, there's love languages, and there's all Enneagram. There's many different personality tests, but this helps you understand the way you are. And then it helps you understand how your employees and team members are. And then as everybody starts to understand that, you begin to be able to communicate to each other. Like for a long time, Chris Vogue, our sales manager, like he's a D personality. Well, I'm an IS personality. So the S means that I want everybody to be okay. And Chris as a D is going to ask. It's more of a dominant personality. He's going to ask for everything. I felt bad telling Chris no, but Chris was just doing his job. He's a salesperson. He's always going to ask for the sale. When I realized this and I would just tell him no, he's like, okay, no problem. He would go find another solution. And it like the weight on my shoulders and the weight on his shoulders, because I would hem haul about it. He would ask me for something. I'd be like, oh, I don't really want to let Chris down. And then I just wouldn't answer him and I'd hope he'd forgot about it. Well, he doesn't forget about it. I just wasn't doing my job. So I think if you all out there are beginning to have employees, virtual assistants, photographers, admins, whatever it may be, understanding what makes them tick, like Colleen said, and then showing that you understand them by your actions. That's another thing I screwed up for a lot of years is I would listen to them, but I wouldn't do it then. And if you don't do it, then you don't listen to them. It's something as simple as like Colleen said, like I'm going to give you one-on-one praise versus the team praise, because I realize if I shout you out on the team meeting, you are going to feel a bit embarrassed about that. And you'd rather just have a direct message from me.
One of our photographers just told Tim, he said, something that's different about any other place that I've worked is that I've brought things to you all. Not only have you listened, but you've actually implemented change. And I haven't really seen that before. And that just happened like 2 days ago. And that made me feel really proud because I know what he's talking about. I've worked for people before. And we do genuinely take that into consideration. And I want to put my team first, because if I'm putting my team first, I really don't have to worry about anything else, because then they'll be jazzed to go out there and serve my clients, and clients talk and I get more business and it ends up coming back. But it really is who I am. I mean, I do just love people. So that is my strong suit and I play, my business to my strengths. But I think really understanding that and practicing that for anyone listening, it really will make your life better.
Colleen, that's so true. And the thing about it, at least for me, is at the beginning of changing your mindset, it doesn't feel like it should work. Like it just feels like and I think some of it's the culture in 2025, like it's a me culture. And it's almost like, and as business owners, we sometimes feel sorry for ourselves. Like we work all this and there is a lot of responsibility, but what the team does for you is way more than you could ever do by yourself. So you have to let go and you have to let them do, and then you have to empower them. So if you're feeling like, hey, I just don't know, like I just don't think my team's there yet, and they might not be, but sometimes you have to let you have to empower your team and let them screw up, and you have to let go and guide them along the way. And just one other small point I wanted to make that Colleen said a lot of times was her time. Your time as the business owner is so important, and you might not understand it because your time is, you don't think anything different about your time, but to your employees, it is huge. Remember, I had a coach tell me this: when the lion's out to play, he can always bite your head off. Okay. So, and that took some, like that hit me. Like I was thinking like, hey, I'm fun Todd today. And like in the office, and it's like, no, wait a minute. Like you can change anything you want at any second about your business. So that's always in the back of the minds of your employees' heads. So your time is so important. You show them, she gave you such great insight, like one little ping message randomly. Like I'm going to ping a couple people today, Colleen, on the team that haven't heard from me and just say, hey, thanks for what you do. Like I really appreciate it, because that is such a good tip, and you won't believe how far that will go with your employees.
Yeah, it really does. It does. And it's fun. It's more fun when your employees are having a good time and they want to show up to your company events and stuff because they know they're going to have a good time and meet good people, and they're in a place where they feel like they're cared about. Like we just had our holiday party and it was so much fun. And I just love it. And the team told me, they said, we we need to get together more. And I'm like, we do. Like, I have dropped the ball a little bit on that. Like, we got busy and I got busy. And so it goes back to my time. I'm like, yes, I need to make more time to do that. So we are going to do that in 2026.
Colleen, when you make the type of impact on your team members, your VAs that you do, you told the story about one of your photographers making a suggestion and you acted on it. You've created an ownership stake in that person. They feel part of this business. Like they actually have an ownership stake, and something changes when you feel a stake in something. You feel more responsibility. You're more passionate about it. So that's huge. Kudos to your leadership on that. That's awesome.
Yeah, we all want to belong. Like, everyone wants to feel like they belong. I mean, that's like human. That's the human condition. That's wired in us. So that's why I feel so good.
So, Colleen, you mentioned the REPP speech presentation that you gave, and it was phenomenal. For those that were not there, would you mind sharing? You mentioned the 4 different, kind of job descriptions or titles you have. Can you give us an idea of what you have found works at Three Palms Media with VAs?
Yes, definitely. So I will go through the titles that we have here. And I started out by reminding everybody that you're not a real estate photographer and that you're a business owner. And when you build a business, like, you need to do it with others. So you do need to delegate, because it will allow you more energy to, like, wanna wanna ping people randomly and things like that. So it's really important to delegate, and we've done a great job with our VA team of delegating. So here are kind of the 4 categories that I break our VAs down into. So the first one is your, like, admin or your support specialist. So this is somebody who is in your inbox, who is in your quo or your open phone, communicating with clients on project statuses, scheduling or adjusting shoots for clients, just providing client success, answering questions for clients, and really that liaison between your clients and your editing team. Hey, this needs a revision. Hey, we need to remove this. And they also, like, I have my admin VA pay our invoices. Like, I don't know how to pay our Spiro invoice. Someone does it. It's not me. So having that person who is your client success. Now, some people will be like, I'm scared. English isn't their first language. The more you hire, or the higher rate that you hire, the more English that you can get. And the Philippines, this is why I love the Philippines. They speak great English. Like, I think it comes from maybe them being like the only Christian country over there. And it's different than, like, when I'm in Indonesia. I've been all over Southeast Asia. So it's just different. Like, you're in Indonesia or you're in Vietnam and no one really speaks English. You go to the Philippines and they all know who, like, they can name, like, all of our presidents. I'm like, I don't even know that. So they just know that. Like, literally that happened to me when I was in the Philippines. This little boy was like, I can name all your presidents. I'm like, I don't even know who rules your country or how it works. I feel so stupid right now. But they take a lot of pride in learning English, and it really affords them a lot of opportunities. So they're great at it. We have tools like ChatGPT. You can infuse your brand voice into those things. And over time, the more you coach them on this, the better that they're going to get. I could not live without this. Yes, we do have somebody who permanently answers our phone that is stateside. I've seen plenty of people do it with VAs. We have somebody stateside, but she has an executive admin that helps her in all the time. So our second bucket is our, like, QC or delivery specialist. This is one that everybody knows. They got to be quality checking the deliverables, fixing or managing any errors or revisions, and uploading and delivering those projects. And then this is probably the one I got asked about the most. It was our social media and our marketing manager. So I don't know. I just got blown up about this. Like, I'm still getting blown up about this. So people were interested in this. But we have a dedicated social media and marketing manager on our team. They work 30 hours a week. They're creating, scheduling, and posting all of our social media content. They're managing the DMs and our story replies, communicating leads to our sales and our admin. And they create newsletters, email campaigns, do the engagement on Instagram. So how we have this work is, because people are always like, your social media is so good. I'm like, it's literally my VAs. But how we have it working, and that took time, getting them to understand things that we like to post. But I have a Slack channel. It's called Social Media. And every Tuesday, my social media manager puts all of the posts that she's created, as well as the captions in there. And I go through them all and I thumbs them up if they're good to go, or I'll comment in the thread, hey, change this or change that, or you change this about a Zillow tour. You're not quite understanding what a Zillow tour is. So I'll change some things like that. And that works really well. And we have content like buckets that when we're posting, she's thinking about our 4 content buckets. Let's see if I can name those off the top of my head. One of them is like team culture atmosphere. So we'll do a photographer spotlight. We'll do behind the scenes of our Christmas party that we just had. The other one is education. Like, here's how you can use your property website in Spiro. Here's what here's something about a Zillow tour, like education for realtors. And then a third one is like bundles and features. Like, here's the difference between a standard social media reel and a premium social media reel. And once a month, we'll ask me and my social media admin will ask my admin, what questions are you getting from clients that are driving you nuts this month? What are they asking the most? Great, let's go make content out of that. And then the 4th bucket is just something I'm not remembering right now, but those are the main buckets that we do there. Maybe it's promotions. I think it's like promotions, branding mini sessions that we have, things like that. So I love our social media manager. She knew nothing when we hired her because we hired her near the beginning and we trained her up. But if you can either get somebody and really train them up, or you can go and hire somebody with lots of experience. Maybe a VA knows how to do ads, things like that. We don't do ads, but if we did, I'd be having my social media manager figure it out. And then the 4th bucket here is either like a head of operations or your VA manager. I started to get so many VAs, it was very difficult for me to be their direct report. So now we have somebody on our team who is that manager. So he is ultimately responsible for, did everything get delivered? Is he meeting one-on-one with all of our VAs? Are their concerns addressed? He's running different reports and metrics that help me. He's investigating new tools. Like, he was the one that investigated auto HDR before we signed up, tracking task projects, deadlines, workflows, and just really he manages all the VAs. So those are our 4 buckets that we have. You can kind of mix and match them, of course, especially when you're growing, but those are the 4 titles that we have here that have worked really well for us.
I have one more question, Todd.
Yeah.
And it's a very basic question, Colleen. For somebody that is just starting to think about bringing on their first VA or team member, specifically related to VA, where do you find them? Like, how do you start your search?
Yes. Okay. So I actually thought you were going to ask, what's your first hire? And I'm going to answer that because I feel like it's important.
Okay. Sure.
So it really depends, like, what's the most low hanging fruit for you? I would say it should be QC. Like, first hire somebody in QC. If they can hybrid into admin and you kind of have that hybrid role until they get really busy, and then you can be like, okay, you're just QC and now you're just admin, and hire 2. That's typically where I'm seeing people start. Okay. And then your question was,
where do you find VAs?
Yeah,
is there like a central source of VA nirvana?
Yes. Three places that I find VAs. Number one place that I've used the most often is onlinejobs.ph. This is specifically a Filipino marketplace for people looking for virtual assistants. Second place is, I will just go and find Facebook groups that are maybe real estate photography or real estate related for virtual assistants. And I will post the job posting in there. And then the third place is, hey, current VA, do you know any VAs? That one works, can also sometimes be tricky. It just depends. Is it her cousin? Yeah. Do we want that? I don't know. That's kind of up to you. Right. But those are the different places. And here's a key thing that I do to minimize the amount of time I have to do spending to look for VAs or photographers. This applies to both. They have to send me a video answering a handful of questions to to apply for the job. So when I'm posting in a Facebook group, I'm saying, do not DM me, do not comment, only email me this video. If they DM me and they comment, they didn't listen, and I'm really looking for attention to detail. So that's a little weed out tool there. And I recently discovered this website that someone told me about at the REPP conference called hirevire.com, which it's cool. It's basically like, you create a job posting with like the 3 or 5 questions, and you can send them that link, and it pops up and it records them for you. Because in the past, I was just having them figure it out. Like, send me a video from your phone, do a loom, like whatever you got to do to get me a video. But I actually like this hire buyer because I can be like, boom. Like now when I'm hiring for photographers, as long as resume looks good, they answer the Indeed questions, link, 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 link. And whoever actually responds and completes that one-way video interview, that is who I'm, basing my, okay, who am I going to further discuss with?
That is such great insight. I love the idea of doing that and just compacting your time. It just does so much. Like if you ask them for a video and they don't send it, do you think they're going to follow your instructions when you're asking them to QC photos or respond to emails? Like it's just so smart. It's a way to really maximize your time.
Yeah. You see who
one point. Yeah. Yeah. Cause you'll get hundreds. I mean, you could potentially get thousands of people. I mean, you could get a lot of people. I mean, if you think about the last time y'all applied for a job or for looking for a job, you can apply for a lot of jobs to the point that you forget what you applied to. So if someone takes the time to go and do that, read about your company, read the instructions, then record the videos, it just shows that they're that much more serious. Also, if they've read your description, they're understanding your company culture, what you do, how their past skills relate to what you might need. And then hopefully they're going to answer it with that in mind, and they're going to tie in some of those things. So that is an incredible time saver.
One thing that I kind of wrapped up in the speech at REPP was just going back to how doing it all to delegating it all. And the backdrop of all my slides was my trip to Italy. And Tim and I were able to go to Italy for a month this September. No Slack, we didn't talk to them. The team really held it down. And I talked about how that was a dream come true for Tim and I. Like my parents were there. We got to go to Italy for a whole month and drink Italian rosé, and it was amazing. But our dreams have come true, but so have my VAs and my team members. And so I had this slide where I talked about how, one of my VAs opened their internet cafe this year. They were able to do that with earnings that they got. And now she's employing her sister. Another one bought a house that he's going to be completely rehabilitating inside. And my third VA, she's expressed how happy she is that she's able to stay at home on her farm and work at night, but homeschool her kids, and how that's a dream come true for her. And then our other one, Febby, she's my longest standing one. People have heard me talk about her, but Febby, she's been able to make so many of her dreams come true through this. She's gotten on a plane for the first time. She's traveled for the first time. She really wanted to travel. She really wanted to go to the Taylor Swift tour and see the Eras tour. We sent her to Singapore. We got her to that tour, and she was so excited. So it's everybody's dreams are coming true. It's not just mine. And I think that's where the impact really hit everyone in the audience. They're like, wow, I have the ability to really change people's lives, and not just your VAs, my photographers too. But, we're not talking about them today. So it really is, it made me emotional on stage because the business is elevating everybody. And I'm like, that is so freaking cool.
It is. Mm-hmm. It really
and
is.
Colleen, remind the listeners how long you've been in business.
We just celebrated our third anniversary, 3 years in like October. So we're 3 years
It's
in the
incredible.
company. I know.
That's so
insane.
incredible what you've done in 3 years. It's magnificent.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of hard work. A lot of hard work,
Sure.
as you all know. I know, but I feel like sometimes people are like, "Oh, you just make it seem so easy." I apologize. It's not easy, but it is fun and it is rewarding. And when you bring teammates along the way, it is a lot easier. But it's a lot of work, and we love it, and it's been great.
Yeah.
One thing that I think is a superpower that I've seen you guys over these years, Colleen, is that you guys set goals and you focus. And you are focused on taking care of your people. You're focused on these processes. You're focused on doing these things a lot of times. And just one quick point I want to make, when you were telling us about the 4 buckets of social media, you're like, and the 4th is, I forget it right now. It's like, it might be this one thing. But that's so important as a business owner, that you can't own everything at your business. At one point, Colleen knew it. She put her stamp of approval on it, and she measures it, I can tell you, throughout the year. And it will be changed at the correct time when it comes to measure it. You can't keep it all in your head a coach, I'm big on time tracking. We've done many podcasts on it. A coach taught this to me. And you need to move up different columns of hourly wages. And I won't go into it now, but if you are so focused on these low levels, like what are the 4 buckets of these items? It's like, no, wait a minute. I'm looking at how I can change lives, impact our team, how we can grow to where we need to go. I know that on my team, someone knows this like the back of their hand. They're thinking about how to improve it. So that's such a good sign as a good business owner of like, I don't know everything, but I know somebody on the team knows that. And I know that I measure it I know I measure at this point in the year and we look at it, but right now I'm focused on these bigger things that are helping my business grow larger.
Yeah, that's so true. It actually came up a lot at the REPP conference because I talked to a lot of people and a lot of people asked me questions and I was like, I don't know. And they were always like, wow, I want to get to that place. How many times do you guys shoot? I'm like, I don't know. What's this setting? I'm like, I don't know. What's your process for auto HDR? I'm like, I don't know. like I just don't know. Like other people on my team know that. I'm like, okay, I did delegate. Like I'm not just saying this, like, yes, that has been a really important part is really delegating, all of that out. And my team members have made so many mistakes, not as many as me, obviously, but they've made so many mistakes because I'm letting them do things. And I need them to make the mistakes because when they make the mistakes, that means they're trying, they're out there, they're learning, and they're not typically going to make those mistakes again going forward.
Such good advice.
Yeah. But, Colleen, I want to shift gears a little bit because there's something else that I know is a huge passion of yours that has been growing lately. By letting those things go and delegating those things, it's freeing your energy up for other passions, one of which kind of started coalescing at REPP. So I kind of want to let you just run with that. What's going on with this new movement that we're hearing about?
There's a movement, Craig. There's a new movement in the real estate world.
It is. I didn't know how else to set this up.
I had so many women come up to me at the REPP conference and just talk about like, oh, this is so cool. Like I relate to you in this way. And in our conversations, they're just different. They're different. They can be different between women. We're just women and that's how we are. Mm-hmm. And I got a lot of questions about being like a business owner as a woman and all these things. And a lot of the conversations were like, we need a space or we need a meetup or something like that. And I'm like, we do. And I'm like, this feels like something I need and want to do. So I created a Women in Real Estate Media Facebook group. And it is funny because the conversations in that Facebook group, they're just different than the ones in like the REPP, Facebook group or whatever. Like we open up more. We're talking about like the real things that are holding us back, the real human things that are holding us back or causing us strife, in our life or in our business. And so it's been a really great place to connect. And there's been women in there that have asked questions. They're like, I wouldn't normally ask this in the other group, but I feel comfortable asking it here. And, this was just by demand. Like, I wish I could take credit for this, but it has been really cool. And I'm like, wow, we did really need this. So now I'm thinking about like, what things could we do to get the girls together? And I have a couple ideas. I'd love to do like a women's retreat, like Women in Real Estate Media retreat. And so this is just in my brain right now. I have no plans. I don't know how this works, how it would happen or anything like that. But like to get us together to like reset, like, yeah, we can talk about business, but I'm not going to be like at 2:00, we're talking about sales. No, it'd be more like, let's get together and actually reset. Typically, not that men aren't, but typically women are wearing a million different hats. And if your business owner is one of them and you have family, which I don't have any kids, one day, God willing. Like, let's just get together and reset for ourselves and connect with other people. Like Craig, I think you said earlier, like, or maybe it was on the last podcast I listened to you on about how having the numbers in your phone from the connections you meet at the REPP conference, like nothing is more valuable than that. And I feel like this is just a place where it's a step further and it's uniquely set to women coming together and just connecting so that we can pick each other up throughout the year when we're high, we're low, all those different things. So I've got some cool ideas, but I'd love any women listening here, just search it on Facebook. It's just Women in Real Estate Media. Some cool conversations going over there. And I would love any ideas. The people need to tell us what we want, and I'm happy to be one small part of making that happen.
Very cool. I'll search the group out. I won't join. I won't apply to join, but I'll find the URL and we'll put that in the show notes.
That would be great. Not to exclude anybody, but they were like,
I'm all for getting in touch with my feminine side, but I don't think you'd want me.
They were just like, you're the only.
I love
have so many ways I could go with this, Craig. I'm just going to leave. I'm just going to leave it. Yeah.
We like to have fun on the podcast, right? We can be all professional, but
we gotta have fun. So yeah, I'm excited about it. But a lot of people are just like, you're the only, me and Shannon, I think the only women on the stage, like giving a keynote. We did have some other like dynamic women, Rachel and Shannon, that were on a panel as well. So they're just like, yeah, we'd like to hear more from women. So Eli saw, like, I posted a story about it or something, and Eli commented, he's like, done next year. Cause I said, we should do a Women in Real Estate Media panel at the REPP conference next year. And he was like, done. And I'm like, all right, it's set. I won't forget that. We're doing that.
Very cool.
I thought that was cool.
I love that. That's so great. And kind of continuing at that, Colleen, of a get together, you're coming to our get together. You're going to be a main speaker, and you're going to lead a group as well. That's Spiro Sync. I mean, we'll find a room for you women at Aileron at the place. So
we should. I mean, Shannon can help me with that for sure, because Shannon was in on this. Like, she was part of the spark plug here at the Women in Real Estate Media. Her and I were chatting at the Spiro booth after she gave me my awesome pink Spiro hoodie that I am now obsessed with and I wear all the time. I like really big hoodies, and when I got that from your booth, when I got that at the booth, I put it on immediately, and Tim goes, and that's going to be your new favorite hoodie. And I was like, yes, it already is. But I'm so excited to come to Spiro Sync. Let's do it. Ohio in January. I can't think of anywhere else that I'd rather be, Todd. Yes, let's go.
Yes, it's going to be great. Colleen, you're going to love it. The Aileron, the campus, it has real wood burning fireplaces. I was there 2 days ago. We did leadership planning for Spiro, and the fireplaces were burning. Like, it's the most fabulous smell. It's like, you're not going to walk out smelling like a woodsman. Like, it's just a nice little smell. The fire's burning. It's a beautiful facility. Looks out to this lake. So it's going to be cold, but it's going to be a great time.
I'm really looking forward to coming. And I'm from Ohio, so I'm used to it. But no, I'm excited, and I wouldn't miss it.
Todd, I'm just wondering what's wrong with smelling like a woodsman. I mean, that's kind of put down to woodsman. I mean.
For all the woodsmen listening, I don't have a problem with woodsmen. Actually, I chop some wood on my own here. I use a splitter because I'm not that strong to swing an axe. And I don't know where I'm going with this, Craig, so I'm just going to stop because it's just not adding to the podcast.
I'm the agent of chaos in this episode, evidently. Okay, let's get it back on track. Our guest of this episode has been Colleen Kydd of Three Palms Media. You're located where in Florida? Where exactly are you guys?
Fort Myers, Florida, Southwest Florida.
Awesome. Colleen, thank you so much for joining us.
You are so welcome. And Craig, if this works, I have like a link tree to, I'll put that presentation about the VAs in there. So, and then I also have like some hire guides of like my hiring guide for how I hire VAs and photographers and some other stuff that people always ask me for. So I put them all in this cute little link. So I'm happy to provide that for you for the show notes if that is something that'd be useful.
That would be incredible. Thank you so much for offering that to the listeners and viewers. Yeah.
Yeah, that is great. Also, Colleen, if listeners are not following you now, you also have this incredible ability and knack of just connecting with people through social media videos. I love watching your videos. You did like this fitness weight loss journey, and then you did the trip, and you just like, and then you spoke recently at the Aspire conference in Columbus, a really big conference, really big names, and like you're documenting all this. I've been in your house virtually. I've seen your house tours. Like, how can people follow you? Because if you are not following Colleen, please do, because she's just a source of light and enjoyment. And I think you all need to follow her. So how can people follow you, Colleen?
Yes, so they can follow me personally at It's Colleen Kydd. I post a lot on there, and then they can follow Three Palms Media at Three Palms Media. But one thing that's been so cool about starting my real estate media business for me, it's unlocked this like world where I now fully understand that I can do anything that I want to do. And I just think that that's really, really cool. And it's continued to be a big stepping stone for me in making like other dreams that I have come true that maybe like I didn't always think could come true, or I didn't feel comfortable saying out loud. So I just can't be, more grateful for, the opportunities that I've been presented through starting my own business. And then I've been able to kind of just leverage that confidence to go out and do other things. So yeah, I've got some dreams that I want to do and things like that. And a lot of it really just goes back to the core of just like creating connection, bringing people together, making people feel less alone, and letting them know that, they can do whatever they want. Like there's nothing that they can't do. So I talk a lot about that. I'm passionate about that. I talk about it mostly so I remember for myself. And I just happen to share it with everybody else along the way.
I love that, Colleen. Thanks for all you do for the community. You're doing so much for the community, such an impact on them. Thank you for doing that and continuing to add and just give.
Well, thank you. Thank you all for having me on. Thank you for everything. I'm really looking forward to Spiro Sync. Like anytime I can get in room with other people who speak the same language as me, it's never not been like the most valuable time that I spend. So I'm really, really excited about that. And thank you so much for always being so kind and having me on.
We're excited to see you in January, Colleen. Thanks for joining us. All right. Well, Todd, that's going to wrap things up this week. Getting close to Christmas here. Another great guest joining us the following week. That was a REPP conference speaker. I'm getting all tongue tied. I'm just thinking about Christmas.
Craig. It's okay.
I'm so excited. And then I'm going to be off through the end of the year. So Todd and Shannon, I think, are going to be shaking things up on some future episodes, which is always fun. So any parting thoughts, Todd?
Just such wisdom. I think if you haven't listened to Colleen on the podcast before, go back and listen to it, follow her. There's so much in there, and there's so much that we sometimes get caught up as business owners in little things, and at a 10,000 foot view, when you can step outside of that and see the little things are catching you up and focus on the big things, that's where you're going to see those leaps in your business. And that's what she's so powerful at doing in her own business, in her own life.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that's going to wrap things up this week. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us, whether you're watching or listening. Just make sure you take some time. We wrap the episode, the podcast up every week this way, but especially this time of year, just make sure you take time to be thankful for the blessings in your life, and make sure you take a breath. Have a great week. Take care.
Thank you for joining us for the Spiro Podcast, Managing Your Real Estate Photography and Videography Business. This is a production of Spiro and Wow Video Tours. You can find out more about Spiro's real estate media business management software at our website, spiro.media.